Some have right to assist their wives, because is this country that we see it is as an abomination that a man cannot assist a woman
without the consideration of this group, especially because of the vulnerabilities that we see when gender and disability intersects.
Laudable achievements recorded within 1 year after the inauguration of the committee in Port Harcourt. Declaring the 3-day refresher training open, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Social Welfare and Rehabilitation, Rivers State, Loretta Davis Dimba, said the time for the right action is now to build a viral, committed, and multi-sectoral
synergy among ministries, departments, and agencies. We will continue to create enabling spaces.
Winds blowing across the society, while admonishing stakeholders to brace themselves for challenges like obnoxious cultural and religious practices.
After you have learned, starting with changing your mindset, you're supposed to go and impact it, influence the people you work with, work for, live with.
This Rivers State Committee, we are proud.
God's Power Anele, Rstv News.
The Rivers State Police Command has arrested suspected car theft in Rivers State. A statement by the command's public relations officer, SP Grace Iringekoko, said operatives from the C41 intelligence unit in November arrested the two suspects, Abubakar Abdusalam, 43, and Shagari Shehu, 35. According to her, the recovered vehicles include a white Toyota Hilux with a fake registration number GWA453GR and an ash-colored Toyota Corolla with a fake registration number LSD420BT, both in police custody for discreet investigation. She added that the suspects are currently undergoing in-depth investigation to unravel the circumstances surrounding the theft and the suspect's individual involvement. And efforts are being made to establish the suspect's potential links to any other vehicle-related crimes in the state to arrest other syndicate members. The Commissioner for Police in Rivers State, CP Olubenga A. Adepoju, SPSC and IPS, commended the efforts of the operatives and appreciated the public's continued support in the fight against crime and reassured the public of its commitment to maintaining law and order, urging anyone with information on similar crimes to come forward and assist the police in its investigation. It was a day of celebration and to celebrate heritage as the United Igbo community, residents in Rivers and Bayelsa State, gathered in Port Harcourt for their annual Congress. Justice Ihua completes the story.
Speaking during the ceremony, the President General of the body, Comrade Julius Uzoma, said the association ensures unity, cultural presentation, and socio-economic development among members.
United Igbo Community, UIC Rivers and Bayelsa State is a socio-cultural organization with the mandate of ensuring the good welfare of Igbos residing in Rivers and Bayelsa States. This association has been standing strong for over 20 years.
He noted that it is also a platform for Igbos to connect, share experiences, and work together towards common goals. The president thanked Eze Adele Madago for his fatherly advice and his role towards the progress of the association, just as he applauded the dedication of members.
The togetherness strengthens our bond, reaffirms our shared value, and charts a path forward for the growth and prosperity of UIC Rivers and Bayelsa States. This is also a platform for Igbo people to connect, share experience, and work together towards common goals.
High point of the ceremony were coronation of their Ezogos and Iriji festival. Justice Ihua, Rstv News.
Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shettima has called on state government, federal ministries, departments, and agencies, MDAs, that organize private sector and development partners to intensify efforts towards strengthening Nigeria's business environment, insisting that national prosperity depends on sustained collaboration across all sectors. Speaking in Abuja at the BEPEC Gala and Award Night, organized by the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, PEBEC, the Vice President said the reforms recorded this year reflect the triumph of collaboration over silos and urged stakeholders to build on the gains of 2025. In a statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communications, Office of the Vice President, Stanley Wokocha, Vice President Shetima said the success of the administration's reforms anchored on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda relies heavily on the dedication of public servants, whom he praised for refusing to accept mediocrity in the drive to improve ease of doing business. According to Shetima, excellence is cultivated through discipline and the refusal to settle for the minimum. The Vice President also highlighted interagency coordination as a key driver of progress, citing the Ports and Customs Efficiency Committee as an example of reforms already bearing significant fruits through the introduction of joint port inspection procedures designed to reduce delays and improve efficiency. The Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, has highlighted why Nigeria needs to overhaul the learning processes in the education sector, describing the situation as an emergency which requires urgent attention. In a paper by the minister, he argued that despite high enrollment, 45 million children aged 7 and 14 cannot read a simple sentence, while learning outcomes remain unacceptably low. Citing UNICEF data, Dr. Alausa stressed that the crisis remains uneven, with the Northwest bearing the largest burden with a literacy rate of 9.4% and numeracy rate of 8.3% rating, followed by the Northeast with 12% and 10.7% respectively. The minister noted that North Central has a literacy and numeracy rate of 24.3% and 22.7% respectively, while the Southwest has 45.8% and 46.7% rates, adding that the Southeast has the highest literacy and numeracy rate at 55.8% and 52%, while the South has 37% and 34% respectively. According to him, the data demonstrates that Nigeria's children are facing a severe and uneven learning crisis, with some regions lagging far behind in both literacy and numeracy. And now the federal government has scheduled the major Nigerian Foods and Culture Festival for December 16 to 17 at the cricket pitch, Tafawa Balewa Square, Lagos, as part of this year's Dirty December. Minister of Arts, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy, Hannatu Musa Musawa, who announced this in Abuja at a media briefing, said the festival, jointly organized by the ministry and Irabo Creative Minds, promises to be an unforgettable day to December, celebration of Nigeria's rich cultural heritage, culinary diversity, and everything that makes the country so great as a people. The minister described the festival as an embodiment of the ministry's commitment to harnessing the power of art, culture, and tourism to drive economic growth, job creation, and national unity. She expressed profound gratitude to President Bola Tinubu for his visionary leadership and unwavering support for the arts and culture sector. His administration's commitment to creating an enabling environment for the industry to thrive is truly commendable. Do you love and care about your estate and a piece? Let's build and take it to greater heights. This is a task we must all accomplish. And now ahead on the news at 3, Mozambique violence forces 100,000 to flee as displacement crisis deepens. Details of this and more will come your way shortly. when we return from the break. Stay with us.
I need the police that can respond to emergencies first.
I want the equipment I need to do my job.
I want a police that won't harass or arrest me for no just reason.
I want to be valued for my work, not feared by honest people.
I want a police that won't ask me anything for the boys.
I want a decent salary that is paid on time.
If it happen with good laws,
proper funding,
training,
and cooperation.
If it happen.
If it happen.
If it happen.
This is Rstv World News. We bring you world-class news, accurate, first-hand, entertaining, balanced analysis. Rstv, Channel 22 Port Harcourt.
Thanks for joining us for the second segment of the news. And now on security matters, United States lawmakers were urged to pressure the Nigerian government to abolish Sharia law in northern states where they have been adopted and disband and religious enforcement Hizbah commissions, with experts warning that these laws and groups are fueling systematic anti-Christian persecutions. During a joint House briefing in response to U.S. President Donald Trump's October directive and the designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern, Council of Foreign Relations Senior Fellow Dr. Ebenezer Obadari testified that the primary driver of violence, Boko Haram, Islamic State West African Province, ISWAP, and radicalized Fulani militants exploit Sharia frameworks and Hizbah officials to impose extremist ideology, enforce forced conversation or conversions, and operate with near total impunity. Blessing Opubo has more.
Obadari laid out a strategy for dealing with the violence and killings, acknowledging efforts by the federal government in response to pressure from the United States. The bipartisan section, led by the Appropriations Vice Chair Mario Diaz-Balart and involving the House Foreign Affairs Committee, aired repeated accusations that the Nigerian government is complicit in what lawmakers called religious cleansing across the North and Middle Belt. Witnesses cited the November 22 abduction of children and teachers from St. Mary's Catholic School in Papiri, Niger State, what they described as ongoing blasphemy law, imprisonment, and mass killing, rejecting claims that the violence stems solely from resource disputes. Obadari emphasized the root of the crisis, saying the deadliest and most serious threat confronting the Nigerian state today is jihadist terror perpetrated by the Islamist group Boko Haram. Troops of the Nigerian army have successfully rescued 18 victims from abduction in Borno and Kogi states, even as 2 women were kidnapped in Kwara state by bandits. In Borno, 12 people, including 7 women and 5 children, were rescued after being abducted on November 14th while traveling along the Goza-Link-Makara road. According to a statement posted on the Army's official Facebook page, the victims were freed from the Mandara Mountains in Goza local government area, following a clearance mission conducted under Operation Desert Sanity IV and Diligent Search. The operation, led by the 26th Task Force Brigade with support from hybrid forces, hunters and vigilantes, involved a pre-dawn assault through rugged mountain terrain toward Uvara. Blessing Opubo, Rstv News.
Close to 100,000 people in northern Mozambique have been forced to flee in recent weeks after armed groups stormed their villages, burning homes and attacking civilians. Ruth Friday has details.
In Nampula province, schools, churches and open spaces are crowded with newly arrived families. This is the 4th massive influx of displaced people in recent months, and it's putting pressure on already fragile host communities. The insurrection of fighters affiliated with the so-called Islamic State has already displaced more than 1.3 million people since it began in Cabo Delgado, the country's northernmost state, in 2017. The United Nations Refugee Agency, UNHCR, says it will need close to $40 million next year to meet rising needs in the region, as this year's funding stands at just 50% of the required amount. In the meantime, the agency says overcrowded shelters and the lack of response is forcing some people to return to unsafe areas. US President Donald Trump has said he does not want Somali immigrants in the US, telling reporters they should go back to where they came from and their country is no good for a reason. His disparaging comments came as immigration authorities were reported to be planning an enforcement operation in Minnesota's large Somali community. Officials in the state have condemned the plan, arguing it could unfairly sweep up American citizens who may appear to be from the East African nation. Minneapolis and St. Paul, which together are known as the Twin Cities, are home to one of the largest Somali communities in the world and the largest in the US. The president's comments represent an intensification of his recent attacks on Minnesota's Somali community, whose decades-long protected status in the US he recently pledged to provoke and its Democratic politicians. US President Trump has also recently expanded his months-long immigration crackdown in the wake of last week's shooting of 2 National Guard members in Washington, D.C., which was allegedly perpetrated by an Afghan who moved to the US. Trump did not refer to that incident while speaking about Somalis. Ruth Friday, Rstv Foreign News.
And now on entertainment news, Nigerian singer Burna Boy has pledged to cover the funeral costs for all 4 children killed in recent mass shooting that occurred at a children's birthday party in Stockton, California. Winnie Benson has more.
The Last singer explained that he felt an emotional connection to the tragedy after hearing the story on the Breakfast Club radio show. He subsequently reached out to music executive Wack 100 and Hollywood Unlocked personality Jason Lee to offer his assistance. In a press statement, Burna Boy outlined his motivation, noting that he was particularly moved by the story of Amari Peterson, a 14-year-old 3.8 GPA student athlete whose life was tragically cut short. The shooting occurred on Saturday, November 29, inside a crowded banquet hall in Norton Stockton, where 100 to 150 people were attending a children's birthday party. 4 young people were killed and 11 others were wounded. Identified victims including 8-year-old Maya Lupian and 21-year-old Susano Achileta. Femi Kuti, Grammy-nominated Afrobeat legend and son of the creator of Afrobeat, Fela Anikulapo Kuti, has opened up about his unconventional relationship with his father while growing up. Speaking at a book chat during the just concluded Ake Arts and Book Festival held at Bon Hotel, Ikeja, GRA, Lagos, Femi shared insight on how he learned from his father. The session focused on a memoir of Fela's late wife, Remilekun Kuti, titled Miss Kuti, and was hosted by award-winning poet Dami Ajayi. Femi recalled that his father never formally taught him anything, but expected him to know everything, including how to read.
He didn't teach us, he didn't bring us up to be better than anybody in the house. I mean, it was equality.
Made Kuti, Femi's son and also an Afrobeat musician, supported his father's account, explaining the unusual dynamics of their family. Winnie Benson, Rstv Entertainment News.
Obagi FC has emerged winner of this year's edition of NNPC Total Energies OML 58 annual football competition organized for host communities. The team defeated Akapta FC by 1-0 at the final of the tournament held at the Obite football field in Oba Ibema, Ndoni local government area of Rivers State. Justice Imuo reports that the tournament is the 22nd in the series. His report.
The announcement made by the Nigerian Football Federation features a mix of established internationals and fresh talents, which reflects Chele's dual
Obagi FC scored the only goal of the match within 3 minutes additional time through a corner kick after 90 minutes goalless play.
Cross taken!
The Deputy Managing Director, JV Assets, Mr. Olivia Casosol, said the competition stands as testimony to the time-tested relationship between the joint venture and their host communities.
We also dedicate all our efforts to supporting the youth, because we do believe that youth are the future of those host communities, the future of the nation.
Representative of NNPC, Osman Bello, said the company is proud to support the competition, while the chairman, Central Planning Committee, Said Ogusaya, outlined the benefits of the competition.
We are proud to support this tournament, which showcases talent of our youth, promotes community spirit, and demonstrates that a thriving sports culture can coexist with strong energy sector.
I would also like to give a kudos to all the participating communities that throughout the competition we recorded no injuries.
Chairman of Obagi Field Community Trust, High Chief Hope Sindike, and the chairman of Onega, Shadrach Choku, commended Total Energies for sustaining the competition for 22 years and appealed that efforts should be geared towards enlisting the best players in international football. At the end of the competition, two best players, Obinna Gostime of Obagi and Michael Charles of Oboboro, were chosen as best players that will be sponsored to our football academy. Obinna Gostime of Obagi was also awarded the best player of the tournament and highest goal scorer, while the best goalkeeper went to John Prince.
I'm too grateful for this competition, and I have a good plan. If you can also support Obagi community. You are a good player for the age. Please, can you support us for anything we ask you people to do for us?
So today is our day. Today is one of the happiest days.
Thank you very much.
Oboboro FC came third in the tournament. Justice Ihuo, Rstv News.
Still on sports, Super Eagles head coach Eric Chile has unveiled a 54-man provisional squad for the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco, setting the stage for a high-stakes contest for the final 28 spots. Divine Humble completes the report.
The announcement made by the Nigerian Football Federation features a mix of established internationals and fresh talents, which reflects Chile's dual strategy of consolidating core players while evaluating domestic and overseas prospects for the continental showpiece. Among the headline names are Captain William Troost-Ekong, striker Victor Osimhen, midfielder Wilfred Ndidi and goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali, forming the backbone of a team expected to challenge for honours in Morocco. The brief sighting of Harvey Elliott in Aston Villa's Christmas video was a reminder he is still at the club. The on-loan Liverpool man appeared on the Villa's Park big screen for a few seconds, still more time than he has played in the Premier League over the past 2 months. He was pushing a laundry trolley at the Bodymore Health training ground while wearing a festive jumper. His Christmas wish is likely to be for a change in fortune. His deadline day switch from Anfield promised so much, but it has quickly turned. The move will become permanent if Elliott plays 10 times for Villa and having made 5 appearances. His appearance as a 89th-minute substitute for Liverpool against Newcastle in August leaves him with no viable option other than to return to the Reds or remain at Villa, who seemingly do not want him. Divine Humble, Rstv Sports News.
And that sports report wraps up our bulletin for today at the news at 3. My name is Ebere Inda. Do you love and care about your estate and a peace? Let's build and take it to greater heights. This is a task we must all accomplish. You can watch our news live on YouTube and Facebook at Rstv Online. You can also hit the notification bell for updates on our live feeds. That's the news. Good afternoon.